Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. Sorry, something came up. But anyway, today in this video, I'm going to go over my top 10 tips for having a hamster as a pet. So hamsters are very cute and they're really fun to have as pets because they're very small and they're pretty easy to take care of. But you also have to remember they're just like any other pet. You have to remember to feed them, give them water, and clean their cage and take care of them as much as you can. And they are very fun to have, but they are a bit of work, just to let you guys know, because you have to do so much to take care of them. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys find this video helpful if you're looking forward to getting a hamster. So number one on my list would have to be don't leave the cage door open or knock the wheel off the top. So some hamster cages will have wheels on the top that are removable so the hamster can come in and out. And if you leave the cage open, the front cage, the top cage part of the cage, I don't think it really matters. Well, actually, it does matter because the cat can go after the hamster. So you don't want to leave that or the top cage open. So if you leave the front door open to the hamster's cage, the hamster can get out and it'll get lost. Or if you knock the wheel, if the hamster has a wheel on top of its cage and it runs around in it, you don't want to actually knock that off because the hamster can escape and it'll wander around the house and it may get after... And a cat may get after it because cats go after things like hamsters. So you should always be careful of never knocking the wheel off the cage. And I definitely did that. And I have a full story about how my hamster went missing. And I'll leave the link to the story down in the description box below. Number two on my list would have to be constantly check the hamster's food and water. So this is super important. Just like any other pet, hamsters need food and water to survive. And you should always check their water regularly because sometimes they'll run out of water quickly. Sometimes they'll run out of food quickly because hamsters do eat quite a lot. They'll eat a lot of hamster food, or they'll eat a lot of... Then they'll drink a lot of water. So it's very important to check their food and make sure they have enough food and water to survive. Because you just don't want them to get sick. I mean, I definitely one time forgot to check my hamster's food and water, and I had to get him food in it once because I forgot to check it, but that was just me because I thought he had food before, so I had to hold him in my hand and feed him water, and she was really, really thirsty, and I only did that once, and that was when I was 12. Sorry, I heard a noise. Number three on my list had to be don't put flowers in the hamster's cage. So you don't want to put flowers in the hamster's cage because flowers are kind of dangerous because of the pollen in the flowers. They could poison the hamster and it's not safe at all. I definitely almost did that one time, but I didn't know until my mom told me, so I quickly took the flowers out of the cage. So do not leave a vase of flowers near your hamster's cage because you don't want the hamster to eat the flowers. And don't put any flowers in the hamster's cage. Although flowers are pretty, they're not safe to put in a hamster's cage at all. Number four on my list would have to be if you have cats and you have a pet hamster, please make sure you close your door so then the cats don't bother the hamster. This is super important because you don't want your cats to actually go after the hamster or attack the hamster's cage. It's never a good thing to let cats near hamster, because hamsters are rodents and cats like to go after rodents, which is not a good thing. Good thing. You should always like make sure you keep your hamster's cage closed, or close your bedroom door if your hamster is in your bedroom, because sometimes if you have cats, they'll just go and try to bother the hamster, which is not good. Number 5 on my list had to be don't squeeze your hamster. So you never want to squeeze your hamster, just because hamsters don't like being squeezed. Some hamsters aren't comfortable, and it's not a very good thing because hamsters are really small. They've got really tiny lungs and really tiny organs, and if you squeeze them, you might mess up one of their organs and they may not survive very long. So you should always, like when you're holding your hamster, you should hold it like this. Don't hold it like this, or else you're going to squeeze them, which is dangerous. And I've definitely accidentally squeezed my hamster one time before. I squeezed it and made her squeak, but that was just an accident because I didn't know how to hold her properly. Number 6 on my list would have to be wash your hands before handling the hamster. So you never want to wash your so you should always wash your hands before handling your hamster, just because your hands are very dirty. You've been touching a lot of stuff, whether like it's pencils at school, your food, and this and that. Especially right after you eat food, you should always wash your hands before handling your hamster, because your hamster will bite your hands. And I've definitely had this happen to me before. One time I went to go pick up my hamster and I forgot to wash my hand, and she bit me because she mistook my hand for food, because my hand smelled like food. So you should always make sure you should wash your hands, because you don't want your hamster to bite you, because hamster bites, even though they're really tiny, they do still hurt. Number 7 on my list would have to be wash your hands after handling your hamster. This is super important because your hamster's cage might be very dirty and it might be smelly just because from it doing his business in its cage, and also because it was probably eating and everything. So you should always wash your hands after handling your hamster, because your hamster might have had a little accident on your hands and stuff, and you don't want to transfer the bacteria, the stuff from your hamster to your food, to like whatever you touch. So you should always constantly make sure you wash your hands after handling your hamster. It's super important, so then you don't transfer any like DNA from the hamster to anything in your house. Number 8 on my list would have to be clean your hamster's cage. So usually you should do this maybe once a week. It's very important to clean your hamster's cage, just because you don't want to have a smelly hamster cage, and also it's healthier for the hamster if she has a clean cage and he or she doesn't lay in her mess all the time, because when a hamster has a very dirty cage, it's not very healthy for the hamster. So you should always make sure you clean the hamster's cage maybe once a week, because it's just very healthy for he or she to have a clean cage, and you don't want the hamster laying in hamster bathroom and everything. It's just not a good thing. Number 9 on my list would have to be only feed your hamster what they're allowed to eat. So if you would like, I'll leave a link to the list of foods to feed your hamster down in the description box below. And it's super important to know what your hamster is allowed to eat for food. Because you don't want to give them like candy. You don't want to give them like chocolate. Though I'm sure if you guys have hamsters, you know you're not supposed to give your hamsters anything like candy or chocolate. You should always give them stuff that they'll eat, whether it's lettuce, veggies. I don't know if hamsters can eat fruit. Let me know if they can. I mean, I know my mom's had guinea pigs who've loved apples, but I'm not sure about hamsters. Okay, Google, can hamsters eat fruit?
On the website petco.com, they say, hamsters love apples, pears, strawberries, and bananas. They should be given in moderate.
Okay, so hamsters definitely can seem to eat fruit, obviously. I didn't know that. I've never fed my hamster really any fruit. I just fed her usually veggies and regular hamster treats. So if you ever want to feed certain things to your hamster, just always check and do your research of what your hamster can and can't eat. Number 10 on my list would have to be don't give your hamster anything knit or crocheted. This is super important because hamsters can chew through a bunch of knit and crocheted stuff, and it's not a very good thing for hamsters to have those kind of things. I mean, I know in the show Hamtaro, it's super cute when you see like the little hamster wear a cute little knit scarf that her owner made, but you definitely never want to give anything to your hamsters that are knit or crocheted. It's not very safe because they could definitely ruin the fabric, and also the yarn may not be good for them. And I definitely crocheted my hamster a blanket, but then my parents made me take it out because they realized it wasn't healthy for the hamster to have something knit in it, and they could just definitely like chew up the fabric. And it's never a good thing to give a hamster any of those kinds of things. I mean, if you're looking to knit something for your hamster, don't do it just because they'll just end up chewing it up. Okay, so those are my top 10 tips for having a hamster as a pet. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!